Previously on Haunted.
That same night, a young woman drowned in the lake.
Linda Jones. Yeah, I knew her. Every time I close my eyes, I keep picturing what Linda would say. She'd be ashamed of me.
I lost everything that mattered to me when I was only 7 years old. I had my entire world burned down in front of me.
So they decided to put Melissa in the coma after all then?
Are you going to report me to the chief?
No, Paul was already dead before you got to him. The signal, whatever it is, had caused so much damage to his brain there's no way he could have survived.
You can stay with us.
I will not tolerate anything like that again. That is my line in the sand.
I understand.
I'm going to stay. Melissa needs me. The signal is still affecting her and it could rebroadcast at any time.
Yeah, I know. No, she wanted me to stay later. I know, but for time and a half. Yeah, I won't be that late. I'm sorry, I couldn't pass the opportunity up. Go without me, I'll catch up. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm here. Sorry, I heard a baby crying. Yeah, out here. No one's around, though. Hello? There's a pram in the middle of the park, but there's no parents. Well, I can't see anyone. Still crying, really loud, too. I'll call the police in a second. I just want to make sure it's not her. Yeah. Hello? I think I'm losing you. It's all right. Shh. I'm here. It's all right. I'm here.
Haunted, the audio drama. Episode 2. A Soft Cry. Part 1 of 5. Written by Benton Hodges.
So that was Dan. He says something really weird has happened at the park. A body was found.
That's going to be great for tourism, another murder.
Well, it doesn't look like a murder.
Oh. How did they die?
Shock.
Shock?
Yeah. The first responders say she was locked in a look of pure fear. Seems her heart just stopped.
Okay. And her age?
31.
Wow, certainly makes you think.
About what she saw?
No, that I should treat my arteries better.
I doubt she died of heart disease. This has weird written all over it.
Do you think I should cancel that order of pancakes?
James!
You think it's weird because a woman died in a park. People die of random causes all the time. Like aneurysms.
And the look of fear?
Was she looking at something particularly scary?
No, she was alone in that small patch of grass by the play area. You know where I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing particularly scary there.
Unless you're afraid of dogs.
What?
Dan told me that doggers meet at that park. Is it possible she was spooked by a local Doberman?
You have no idea what dogging is, do you?
No. Listen, Abigail. I appreciate your passion and desire for adventure, but can we focus on one thing at a time? Need I remind you that we still haven't figured out the cause of the signal? What if that suddenly starts broadcasting again?
James, a person lost their life last night. We need at least to look. Besides, for all we know, this is related to the signal.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Come with me to the crime scene.
Fine. Do you want any of this? I don't think I can finish it.
What is it?
Mussels.
For breakfast?
They're good. Do you want to try them?
Yeah, hard pass. Unless you want to see my face puff up like a balloon and you have to stab me with my EpiPen.
Shellfish allergy. Noted. Screw it. I'm grabbing a refill for the road. Tinnitus, my old friend.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad. That's not music. You could get the same results throwing instruments down the stairs and screaming.
Dan, sorry. So I hear something weird is going on.
Yeah, the second I saw it, I knew I had to call you.
Saw what?
So, we got the victim's phone open and checked her last call. It was to her friend. There were a few missed calls from her too. A few hours later, she called us, and that's how we found her.
And what did her friend say?
She said that the Vic, Sandra, was late and was rushing home. She took this route in an attempt to get home quicker. Anyway, whilst they were talking, she suddenly heard a baby crying. She said there was an unattended pram left in the park.
Oh, that's spooky.
Very. Her friend Rhonda says she couldn't hear any baby crying, but the reception was quite bad. The phone call dropped, and the next thing we know, body in the park.
With a look of horror on her face.
Exactly.
Can we see the victim's body?
This way. Just don't touch anything, all right? It's hard enough explaining why you're allowed in the crime scene in the first place.
What about the baby?
Well, that's the thing. No pram, no baby. The closest houses to the park say they heard a scream around about the time the call dropped, but they didn't hear a baby crying. Weirder still, no one has reported a missing baby in, well, a while.
It's a little alarming that you didn't say ever.
I highly doubt a parent came over, ignored the body and took the baby home without mentioning it to the police.
Exactly. One of the many reasons this case is weird. Right, gloves on.
Jesus. That face is haunting.
What's that dark fluid in her ear?
What?
Wait. That looks like the substance we found in the signals victim's brain.
Don't jump to conclusions, Abigail. It could just as easily be blood and other gunk.
Other gunk.
Grey matter, or parts of the ear canal.
Gross.
That's why I just left it at other gunk.
Right, I'll make sure forensics get a sample of this. I don't know how we missed it.
It may have just leaked out.
So, what now? Any leads?
Well, we are quite stumped. It's a weird one, that's for sure. That's why I called you guys.
How do you know something weird happened? There could still be a reasonable explanation for this.
Do you have a reasonable explanation?
Well, stabbing in the dark here. A blood clot the size of a grapefruit exploded in her brain, and the blood washing down the visual centres of the brain caused her to hallucinate the baby.
Well, we'd have to wait for the coroner to get back to us on that one.
Well, my money is on aneurysm.
Noted.
Where did the victim live? Maybe we could look around her house and get some clues from her lifestyle.
I was just about to head there. You can follow me in your car if you like. Well, nothing seems out of the ordinary. Fresh milk and vegetables, so she didn't know she was going to die.
People tend not to.
You'd be surprised.
I'd hate to know when I'm going to die. Just sneak up on me and get it over with. Quick and easy.
Well, she didn't know she was critically ill, if she even was. No prescription medication in the house or evidence of hospital appointments.
That's the scary thing about aneurysms. You don't usually know that they're there.
Well, if your brain aneurysm theory doesn't pan out, then how do you think she died?
Could be poison. Do you know much about her?
We have people looking into it.
Do you know what happened to her fiancé?
She was engaged.
She has a planner for each year. This year is mostly benign, but according to last year's planner, yes. Seems she was getting ready for a wedding. Look, visits to florists, a dressmaker, caterers, even picked out a church too. Not your mother's, I'm afraid, Abigail.
Well, no wedding ring was found on her, and she didn't have her fiancé listed as an next of kin.
Plus, it looks like she's been living here alone. Single servings of everything in the fridge. Only female clothes in the drawer.
New theory. Maybe the wedding fell through and her angry ex-lover poisoned her. Case closed.
They want me at the coroner's. I'll call you if I find something.
Okay, see you later. We'll keep looking for clues.
Don't wreck anything.
Interesting.
What?
Seems she had a knitting project before she passed.
It looks like a bib. Or a small blanket.
Well, it's unfinished.
She wasn't pregnant, was she?
Well, she didn't have a baby bump.
I'll send a pic to him. Yeah. All right, thanks. Yeah, I'll tell him. All right, see you soon. That was Dan. He's got the full coroner report.
Should I expect my £10?
No. No sign of aneurysm or poison.
Well, you look like you're about to burst, so...
She wasn't suffocated either. No brain hemorrhages or embolisms. But the first responders were right. Her death seemed to correlate with sudden shock.
So what was the fluid?
They haven't tested it yet. Apparently, the department is inundated with work after...
After the primary coroner listened to the signal and went on a rampage?
Exactly. So it may take a while. Either way, Dan is tracking down her next of kin, see if any congenital heart conditions run in her family.
Good idea.
What do you think could have caused the horrific shock like that?
I don't know. Any luck with the fiancé angle?
He didn't say. Nothing on record, though.
That's the thing about engagements, isn't it? It's a verbal contract, nothing set in stone. She can walk off with the ring any time she likes.
Do you have some hang-ups about marriage? Besides, they never walk off with the ring. Don't you watch rom-coms? They dramatically throw it to the groom and yell, "The wedding's off!" sometime around the second act.
Do I look like someone who watches rom-coms?
No, I guess not. Wait. The friend she was talking to on the phone, she would probably know the fiancé. Please, take all the time you need.
I just can't believe she's dead. Okay. So, we were going to a do. It was a small party that my friend was throwing, and Sandra hadn't been out in ages, so I thought she needed something to cheer her up. But she was late leaving work, and she'd been staying late every day since
Why was she staying late at work?
She didn't want to come home to an empty house.
So her fiancé...
How do you know about her fiancé?
We went with an officer to search her house. My friend here found her journal from last year filled with wedding planning notes.
She was getting married to a man named David. They met in church at a food drive for the homeless.
Do you still have his number?
I think I do.
Brilliant. Do you know why the wedding was cancelled?
I do, but I don't want to drag her name through the mud. Not now.
Rhonda, please. Any information could help us solve this. The police say that she was speaking to you on the phone, that you were the last person who spoke to her. Anything you might know might be useful.
She got pregnant. I know she was raised by a very conservative family. She hid it from them. And she hid it from the congregation at her church. Maybe it was the stress or the guilt, I don't know. But around December last year, she lost it.
Oh.
About a month later, David moved out and Sandra said the wedding was off. I barely saw her at church after that. She spent most of her time at work. I finally got her to agree to come to a night out. And it kills her. Maybe if she hadn't been wandering around alone, maybe if I hadn't...
You couldn't have possibly known this was going to happen.
She said she heard a baby crying, but there was nothing over the phone, I swear. And then I heard a click as the call disconnected. I tried to call her back, but no one answered.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's just so fresh and scary. I don't want to leave my house anymore. What if something happens to me too?
Well, that's why we're trying to figure out what it is. I hate to rush you, but could we have that number?
Sure. I can give you his address too.
Don't you think it's interesting?
Kind of.
Kind of. Where is your sense of intrigue? You used to love this stuff.
Used to being the operative part of that sentence.
So, Sandra had a baby out of wedlock. Big taboo. She loses the baby and then hears a baby calling to her that no one else hears. Then she's found dead. You don't find that weird?
As I said, I find it kind of interesting. I'm not jumping to a conclusion. That's how most of these ghost tales get started. People want to believe in something unusual and then they ignore facts.
We did look at your other theories and we ruled them out.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong that she was murdered. Just that she wasn't murdered via the method I suspected. You want there to be ghosts, so you're seeing ghosts. Imagine, ghost baby attacks and kills its own mother. Pfft, they'd eat that up in some circles.
Well, hopefully her ex-fiancé can shine some light on this situation.
Has he answered the phone yet?
No. Do you think we should just stop by his address?
Can't hurt. Do you think it's odd that Rhonda knows his new address?
What do you mean?
Well, he breaks up with his fiancée, moves out, then gives his new address to her best friend. Maybe she feels guilty about two things.
Oh, please, they were devout Christians. They don't do things like that.
I don't think that they're that strict. Sandra was pregnant outside of wedlock, after all. Unless you're telling me it was an immaculate conception.
It just seems so nasty, especially after what Sandra went through.
People can be very nasty. Christians too.
Oh, your continued faith in the human race is so inspiring.
Thank you. Now, why don't we pay this David a visit?
I don't think he's home.
His car is, and there's a light on.
Yeah, he could have left that on so people think he's in.
At 2 p.m? Who's he trying to fool? Moths? Oh, maybe the ghost got him.
James, take this seriously. This could be big.
Well, if it's so serious, then why don't you use the key?
The key?
Yeah, that rock there. It's the only bit of volcanic rock in an otherwise sedimentary display. Probably hiding a key.
You don't know dogging, but you know volcanic and sedimentary rocks. You really are full of strange and useless information.
It's hardly useless when I'm right. He shoots, he scores.
Lucky guess.
The lucky guess is whether or not you're going to actually break into another man's house over a ghost story. I'm leaning towards yes, but maybe you'll surprise me. Ooh, I'll be going for a hat trick at this rate.
Hello, David. What's that smell?
Rotten fruit, I think.
Is it me, or is this place totally OCD?
Yes, definitely. Alphabetized his books, all plug sockets set down. I bet the volume of his television's only set in multiples of 5.
Where is the TV? This is the lounge, isn't it?
Maybe he was making one of those statements, let's bring conversation back to the parlour, or whatever. Or maybe he just couldn't stand the endless stream of reality programming. Are we going to search this man's house or not? I think we can get away with the breaking and entering if we leave now, but any excuses go out the window the moment we wander upstairs.
Well, he's definitely not in.
But he could be on his way back from the store.
Oh, good idea. Let's check this fridge.
Yes, let's.
Ah! Bloody hell, that scared the life out of me.
What was it?
One of those auto air freshener plugins.
Struggling to battle whatever that odour is.
Okay, kitchen. Very neatly organised. Well stocked, too.
No leftover pizza or half-eaten Chinese takeaways for this guy.
Not everybody eats like an 18-year-old uni student. This is a clue. It means he hasn't fled. Like many murderers do.
Some of it smells off, though. Like the milk.
It's weird that he wouldn't throw that away if he was still around.
Well, whilst you plunder the larder, I'll see what's upstairs. Seal's broken as far as I'm concerned. Bathroom. Home office. Hey, Abigail. Check if there's any letters in the letterbox.
What?
His filing, it's on a daily system. It stopped 7 days ago. I'm wondering where his mail is.
His letterbox is outside. It's locked. I need a key.
Look for a volcanic rock inside.
Found it! It's on a hook! Oh, James?
Yeah?
His house keys are still here.
Are you sure?
Yes, the hook is labelled house key.
That's not a good sign. Oh, shit. Abigail, I found him.
Starring Jamie Evans as James Hunter and Isabella Barbieri as Abigail Corbin. With special guest Luke Hunter as Dan Cowell. Also featuring Megan Condon, Sam Anderson. Narration by David Anthony Green. Opening and closing themes by James Crow. Haunted, the audio drama, is created by Jamie Evans, with all episodes produced and directed by Jamie Evans and Benton Hodges. Audio engineering by Benton Hodges, Charles Topping and Jamie Evans. Haunted is a production of Impala Films and is recorded at Free Sprite Media Studios, with special thanks to Duncan Newham for equipment support. Thank you for listening to this audio presentation. Come back next week for the next terrifying chapter of Haunted, the audio drama.
Hi guys and gals, this is Jamie Evans, creator and half of the show-running team for Haunted, the audio drama. I also play James Hunter in the show. We really hope you're enjoying the show and that you're feeling intrigued by the mysteries we're trying to set up. I don't want to take up much of your time. I'm sure you hear something similar to this at the end of every podcast or audio drama that you listen to. This is the part of the show where we beg you for your hard-earned money. We chose to release Haunted free of charge because we wanted as many people to hear it as possible. We have no plans to ever change that model, so please don't worry, the show will continue to release for free for the foreseeable future. However, it does cost us quite a lot of money to produce Haunted. Things like marketing budgets, studio rental, equipment costs, and of course paying for our performers makes the show very expensive to produce. So we've decided to set up a Patreon, where fans of the show can donate a small amount of money to us each month if you choose to do so. We have 2 different donation tiers on our Patreon, and these come with rewards including access to our Discord server, early access to episodes, and access to a behind-the-scenes show where we talk about the process of making Haunted and the sorts of things that inspired the show. That literally doubles the amount of Haunted content that you will be receiving. If you could please consider donating so that we can continue the story of James and Abigail, we would be so grateful. Find us at patreon.com/Impala Films. That's Impala spelled IMPALA. Patreon.com/Impala Films. Thank you so much and see you next time.